Hi, it's Dr. Z. This week we will learn about chi-square tests. This chapter introduces a new statistical test that will allow researchers to study nominal variables. Think way back to Chapter 1 when we learned about levels of measurements for variables. There were 4 levels: nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. Interval and ratio variables are number values. For example, syllabus quiz scores are a ratio variable because we record scores on equal intervals and no quiz scores go below 0. On the other hand, nominal variables are categories with names but no numerical order. For example, eye color is a nominal variable because we can group eye color into categories such as blue, brown, green, and hazel. These categories have names, but no eye color is better than the other, so there's no order to the categories. We will record the number of people who have a certain eye color, which is referred to as frequencies. In other words, my friends, we're not measuring sample means anymore. We're working with frequencies now. So let's get started with this week's overview. By the end of this week, you'll be able to complete these district course competencies and learning objectives. For this week, please watch the module overview video and view this week's activity checklist here. There are 2 sections this week. The first section is Introduction to chi-square. Thus far this semester, you've learned to calculate at least 6 different statistical tests. All these tests had data that consisted of interval or ratio variables. In other words, we had number values such as scores or x values. Well, what happens if we do not have interval and ratio variables, but nominal variables instead? Chi-square tests allow for the study of nominal variables. For this course, we will only review the chi-square for goodness of fit, that measures how well the data fit the hypothesis. So please read the designated pages in the textbook and complete the corresponding Nearpod lesson. The second section is on conducting a hypothesis test with chi-square for goodness of fit. Once you've learned how to calculate a chi-square for goodness of fit in the Nearpod lesson, we need to determine if the preference or difference in the proportions predicted is statistically significant or not. We'll do this by conducting a hypothesis test. Please read the designated pages in the textbook and watch the assigned videos. This week's activity is on reporting chi-square. We will continue to strengthen the skill of thinking and writing like researchers this week. This activity will give you an opportunity to practice writing summary and interpretation statements for a one-tailed hypothesis test with chi-square for goodness of fit. Each student will be assigned 1 sample research study to work on and share their summaries and interpretation statements with the class in discussion board number 11. The activity handout is available in your course packet as well as here on Canvas. You will complete the activity handout on your own by writing the answers in the space provided on the activity handout. So let's go to our assignments for this week. The first assignment is the Nearpod lesson. This lesson will introduce how to calculate a chi-square for goodness of fit, as well as how to write summary and interpretation statements. The second assignment is discussion board number 11 on chi-square. This discussion board ties back to the activity on writing summary and interpretation statements. Question 1 asks you to reflect on the video regarding published research. Question 2 asks you to share your summaries and interpretation statements for your assigned sample study. Question 3 is our normal reflection of this experience. And there is an additional question this week. This additional question for the discussion board is the final reflection of your growth this semester in thinking and writing like researchers. The third assignment is Problem Set 11. This problem set reviews concepts in Introduction to Chi-Square and Hypothesis Tests with Chi-Square. This problem set will have you practice conducting a one-tailed hypothesis test with Chi-Square for goodness of fit. This week's activity will also be excellent practice for the summary and interpretation statements that you will provide in this problem set. I do want to point out these two important points. This is a 3-page problem set, and you must use the real-life data from the Google survey, which is specific to this semester, and transfer the numbers to problem set 11. You'll not be able to complete this problem set without the Google survey data available here. And the last assignment this week is our chapter quiz. Please make sure to complete the reading and online activities for this week's chapter before taking the quiz. And with that, my friends, you will have successfully completed this week's module. I look forward to reviewing your awesome assignments this week. Now wait, I kept you waiting. If you've reached the end of this video, I'm going to reward you with extra credit. As you all know, my favorite movie is Kung Fu Panda, and Kung Fu Panda 2, and Kung Fu Panda 3, and most recently Kung Fu Panda 4. So this quote is from Kung Fu Panda 3. It is a reminder for you to be the best that you can be. If you want to earn extra credit, submit the name of the movie for this quote and extra credit Easter eggs on Canvas. Have a great week!